All right, we got a lot of snaps to go through. This is going to be a longer video, so if you got to watch this thing on 2 times speed, then that's what you got to do. First play of the game, you're going to get inside zone, split, and center just gets completely worked by the defensive tackle. End zone cam kind of shows you what they're working with here. They're going to call out their blocks and who they're double teaming. What I would like to see personally is I'd like to see us double team and then work to 13 at this guard spot here, but it doesn't look like as an offense that's what we're trying to do. But it doesn't matter anyway. I mean, the nose tackle just game wrecks this whole play. So the second play is straight out of empty, and it's just a stick concept. So there's a lot of soft drop zone from Texas Tech in this game. Just cover 3. And they get to it in different ways, which we'll go over. But just a quick stick route here for about 4 or 5 yards. So the other main defense that Tech was running was kind of a cover 2. They just had different depths with it. So Oregon's going to run a hitch and then a short post or a skinny post here and just kind of hit the spot here below this deep half but above this vert hook. And they're going to end up going back to this later in the game, which I'll show you guys, but just an NFL window here from Dante Moore. Let's check it from this angle here. Just right over the linebacker. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. A lot of the ways that they're going to counteract this kind of soft drop zone here is with the RPO game, and it kind of bites them in the ass a little bit later on some of these drives, but just quick hitches here. You got your handoff, and as these guys backpedal, I mean, it's just an easy, you're just taking what the defense gives you, and they're giving you like 4 or 5 yards, so you're taking it. They're also running with tempo too, which I think is worth noting, and the reason you can tell is if you're like watching the chain gang here, I mean, they are struggling to keep up here. The reason they're running tempo is because Tech doesn't really sub out of base very often, so they're trying to like really work their defensive line mostly. So they run tempo and then they just switch formation sides, and you're going to get a fake toss, and they're going to hit Sadiq on this crosser here, and I mean, it's a hell of a catch, but yeah, no, it's a tight window. Ball's a little bit behind him, great adjustment. First down Ducks. This is great play design from Will Stein here. So you're going to condense the trips formation here to the field, and they're going to be running their cover 3 here. So they're just going to drop into their thirds, and Dante's working this flat defender, right? So you're going to get someone to go out to the flat. You're going to get a curl right behind him, and then you're going to get someone up inside. And the whole point is like we're going to stretch, because his responsibility is flat first, right? So he's going to shoot out to the flat. He's bailing. So we're just trying to hit this window right here. And you got to condense them so you can stretch their zones out, right? So you're taking this guy out of the play with this route. And it's just hitting that open field. I mean, it's just great design. And Dante just does a great job delivering it on time and on target. I thought this was cute. This is a little RPO with a fade tag to it. And it looks like it's a pre-snap. So, like, if you see the one-on-one out here, you're taking it. So, no, I mean, it was, to be honest with you, when I was watching it live, I thought Benson came down with the ball until it popped out last second. But no, hell of a throw. So this one's a little bit unfortunate if you're an Oregon fan, right? So you're going to condense the formation here, and they're going to actually run counter, but they're pulling 2 wide receivers, which I don't know if I've seen them do this season. They might have done it, but I can't remember. But no, the back, there's 2 things that go on here. The back outruns the lead block because you get your kick out from the first wide receiver. But also just, I don't think we're hustling enough here from 4. I really don't. Like, we got to be at a dead sprint so we don't get beat, because 4's block is going to be this safety, right? We got everybody else. I mean, let's just take a look here. Down block, down block, down block, down block. Like, he's the kick out, right? 11 does his job, kicks that guy out, the boundary corner. This is the responsibility of the lead block. I mean, there's just the 2 things going on here is your back out runs the lead block, but also, like, we got to get that faster. We really do. So, hell of a game here from 31. Like, he had a bunch of tip passes. He made a lot of money in this game. Really boosted his draft stock, and he just beats Alex Archie here on a speed rush. And it comes down to our initial kick step, right? Like, just to point this out to you guys, like, let's watch Isaiah World here and how violently he kicks out, knowing that he's probably going to end up taking, 9 after this chip. And this is the thing with both of these guys, is they're not the fastest tackles in the world in their drops. And, like, if you're not going to help him, I mean, I don't know. Against dudes with freaky, twitchy speed like that, I mean, this is kind of what's going to happen, and it ended up happening in this game a decent amount. First play of the next drive, and this is just going to be outside zone to the field, nothing special. I don't really have a problem with how they blocked it. I mean, they did about as good as you can do against this front, so 5 or 6 yards is kind of what you're looking for. So to me, the theme of this game from Oregon's offense is like, we got to be better at executing. Just straight up execution. This should have been a give. Straight up. I mean, this one's on Dante. Like, the way that we have this set up here from the offensive line and the numbers, I mean, this has got to be a give, man. And I'm sure he knows it. So, we get a little bit pull happy in the RPO game in this game. And earlier I said it was going to bite you in the ass. This is kind of what I'm talking about. This is just great scheme. Really, from both teams, I think the way that they set their pressure up is phenomenal. I mean, they end up getting Romello Height damn near free to the quarterback here just from the stunts that they're going to run on the line. But no, we get zone indicators pre-snap. So Oregon knows it's going to be some variation of zone. These two are going to kind of run like a pseudo pick. I don't really know how to describe it other than like we're basically running pick and roll for the running back. Like, yeah, I mean, the play is really we're throwing it to 0 or we're throwing it to 0. Like, that's it. So, no, it's good execution. Good on good play here. So this is a great example of kind of how Tech schemes up their box fits and what they do with 5. So they run a lot of 3 buzz, which basically means like these guys are dropping into their deep thirds, and the buzz player who would traditionally line up like 2 high would be this safety, and he ends up fitting into the box. And this is just a great play from 5, really. Just kind of getting in there. I mean, the defensive line wins the rep. The nose tackle, again, just dominates. But I just think it's interesting. I mean, they ran a ton of 3 buzz in this game, and I'm going to show you guys more examples later. But 5 being able to really get in there and stick in the run game is kind of what that whole scheme defensively in the back end is built off of. Earlier with the condensed trips formation, we were reading the flat defender. Similar concept here. I mean, the flat defender is going to be one of these two just based on their alignment. They're also in buzz again, so you get your 2 high. This time 5's not fitting. It's going to be 7 that's fitting down here in the middle. But no, Dante's just reading 10 here. We're just making 10 wrong. That's pretty much it. So it's, one of these two. He can't play both. And they end up hitting the little hitch there. So great timing. Because you have to really throw this on that drop. Like, it's a 3-step out. Like, you can't be late on this. 4th down and they throw a curveball at you, you're actually going to get man-to-man here. And Oregon sees it, and they're going to run a kind of like a rub route here. So you're going to get a slant with a slant with an out. And Sadiq just makes the hell of a play. I mean, the rub doesn't really work because I think the Korean gets caught up in the physicality right there at the bottom of the screen, but doesn't matter because Sadiq is a freak. So just a hell of a catch, man. Just want to watch that one more time. I mean, this is just good on good, and our guy better than your guy if you're Oregon. Really felt like Oregon was going to run a lot of duo in this game, and this is exactly what this is. Only get 4 or 5 yards out of it. I mean, the run game, Texas Tech's just so good in the run that, 13 and 10 end up making the play here anyway. I mean, 10 gets inside that guard and just beats him. And then 13 is able to keep his outside arm free here and just force this thing back inside to his help. So that's good ball from 13 and 10. I mean, there's a reason those two are their best linebackers. Thought this was a great play call. You're going to get like a cover 2 drop here from Texas Tech's defense. And one of the things you can do against zone defense is draw plays. And Oregon's going to run QB draw in this game. They're going to run halfback draw right here. Just a great execution, good play call. right time to do it, second and 4 or 5. So, no, great way to get into plus territory here. So Tech wins the chess match on this one. Going to go empty here, and they're going to try hitting that slot skinny post again. So because it looks pre-snap, it looks like you're going to get cover 2 again. But they actually roll into 3. And this guy just keys on that post, right? Because you get your little slot, and that's the flat defender. So yeah, no, it's a good call on their part. Post isn't there. Dante doesn't really have anywhere to go with the ball. This one you're going to get mesh rail out of empty, so they're going to motion the back, and he's going to be the rail. You got 2 mesh players, and then you have a spot right here in the soft spot of the zone. And this outside receiver is actually running an out route, and they were eating him up on this out route just because it's a soft drop zone, right? And if you're going to give ground, I mean, that's what's going to end up happening. No, this ends up... They come back to a similar look to this later in the game, and it's actually the play that Dante throws the interception on. So we'll end up going over that. This is a design QB draw, which when you're watching live, it's kind of more difficult to see that this was a design instead of a scramble, which is why I'm showing you the end zone cam, because his eyes just check out for half a second and then go straight into it. It ends up putting you, I believe this is a 4th down play. Yeah, so this sets up the wildcat play here that I'm going to show you guys. We'll just go straight into that. So initially, watching it live, I absolutely hated this play call, but now it actually makes sense to me. If you guys watch the preview, Kansas State did a very similar thing with Avery Johnson at quarterback. They were going unbalanced and trying to run into the boundary, and that's really what this is. So there is... Let's see here. Yeah, so they put an extra O-lineman into the game. So you have 3 O-linemen and a tight end, and you're just going wildcat, really trying to get the edge there. And you just can't really get the reach block on the nose tackle. And that is pretty much the end of the play. This is a 3rd and 15 here. First play of the drive, you end up taking a sack. Second play of the drive, get 5 yards back. And for me, it ends up being a QB scramble here, and he takes a decent shot trying to get the first down. And I understand being a competitor, but in a game where we're running design quarterback runs and we know we're going to use our legs, I don't know if I want to see him taking shots like this. I'm not saying to slide because you don't want to slide. It's 3rd and 15. You're trying to compete. You're trying to win something here. But what I would like to see, honestly, is I'd hit this check down, man. I really would. This is a 6'6" tight end. That's Jamari Johnson, 6'6", 250. I would much rather see him go one-on-one with this defender and try and get outside than my quarterback try to beat 2 guys here to the sticks. Because you're just going to take a lick, man. And that is not a shot you need to be taking. It's really not. All right, y'all came here for an Oregon breakdown, I know, but I just want to point out number 2 had a hell of a day, dude. Look at this. I mean, whoop. Bro, that is insane. Oh man, we could talk about 76. If we're gonna do this reach block here, we can't be head over toes. We could talk about that all we want, but this dude's agility at 320 pounds is insane, man. To be able to just stick your hips back like that and just get around somebody, just freaking nature, man. Freak of nature. All right, here's the deal. Execution, right? We were talking about, mesh exchange fumbles earlier. This is I swear to God, it's the 4th or 5th time I've seen this out of Oregon this year. I mean, you can't be doing this. They know they can't be doing this, but especially to beat a team like Indiana, y'all cannot be having execution mistakes like this. This is just going to kill your entire drive. There's no recovering from that. I mean, you would need an explosive play. We're talking a 3rd and 20 after this. So the next drive after that fumble, we're just going to start it with, basically a snap issue. And this is just, I don't even know how to describe this to you guys. It's just, we're snapping the ball a little bit too high, and then later on in the game, we snap the ball completely 2 feet to the left of the quarterback. This play has no chance because we don't get it out in time. So I'm not sure how many yards it would have got anyway. I feel like Tech was pretty aware of what was going on, but ultimately it doesn't matter if you can't get the snap right. And then, next play after you have that, just get a false start immediately, because why not, I'm telling you guys, it's gotta clean up the execution. Have to. Absolutely have to. So I was just talking to you guys about, hey, let's hit our check down. I mean, sticks are, a mile down the road here. Third down. They're running 4 verts, basically. And he ends up hitting his check down. And it's just like, this is why we got to hit our check down. Jamari Johnson's a freak, man. You just got to give him the ball. Tight end, a little check and release here at the line. And makes one guy miss. Really makes 2 guys miss. I mean, if he had a little bit more open field, shoot. We're only a couple yards away from a first here. So just point in case of hey, man, trust your guys. As a quarterback, we don't need to be taking those shots if we got the players that we have. First play of the next drive, and like we were talking about in the preview, really running into the boundary. If you're going to be successful, that's what you need to do, and that's what they tried to do. And yeah, I mean, they weren't really able to get the run game going in this game. Didn't really need to, the way the defense was playing, but they tried to do what we thought they were going to do. So 2 yards here. Faked the toss out a bunch earlier. This time we're going to run it, and kind of gets blown up. So again, phenomenal run defense from Tech. That's kind of what they're known for. So again, we're going to get this cover 3 buzz here. Rotation. Safety's going to end up dropping. He's going to blow this hitch up. I mean, this is a really way to compete if you're Gary Bryant. I mean, there's a decent chance you're going to take a lick here. Just good hands, keeping onto the ball. Giving us a shot here on this 4th down to really compete. So, also it's just a hell of a play call from Tech. They just had the answer. And good tackle. So we've seen this defense a couple times. It's kind of a neat way to get to a cover 2 drop. You're going to end up having these 2 corners out here as deep halves, and then he's going to be that hole player kind of in the middle of the field. And they end up dropping 8 basically. It looks like they tried to do a stunt here with height, but he ends up staying out, trying to take the back. No, you just get, a little bit of space here for Noah Whittington here. And I think Jesse Palmer pointed this out on broadcast. There's really no reason for this flat defender here to be as far out as he is. I mean, the sticks are right here, and he's bailing over into this area. And there's really nothing that's taking him out there. I understand why the linebacker over here is running, because Jamari Johnson's crossing his face, but if you're this flat defender and you're already watching the backfield, they really should have had a stop here. I mean, I would call this a coverage bust, if anything. So this is one of those boundary RPOs that they're going to end up going back to and running a fake off of later in 2-minute drill. So I just think that's worth mentioning and showing, kind of setting up a play in the future, which is one of Will Stein's, gifts, in the sense that he's fantastic at sequencing play calls. This one's kind of hard to see because of the sunlight here at Hard Rock, but going to be a slot fade to Malik Benson here. Just beautiful, one-on-one ball, great ball placement from an NFL quarterback, and then, just got to make the catch, and they get it done. So we got another RPO into the boundary here. They're going to read this defender, and Rodriguez ends up creeping over here anyway. Sadiq gets blown up for 2 reasons, really. Benson doesn't really even try to block or get in front or anything. I think it's because he's kind of late to diagnose. I mean, he's watching the football when it's about to get snapped, and this kid's already keyed on the screen once he sees the bubble motion. So they were alert to it, which is good on them. But I think this should have been a give anyway, just because of how slow this guy's playing. I mean, I don't know. I'm not playing quarterback, so I don't know. Couldn't tell you, to be honest with you. Could go either way. I mean, I understand why he passed it, but I don't know. They just blew it up either way. Doesn't really matter what you do. So we've seen multiple times this year, Oregon's run some RPOs, basically reading the tight end in the flat. It's either going to be a zone run or pitch to the tight end here, and really I could see this one going both ways, but they ended up with the give here, and Jordan Davison just makes a hell of a play. Let's watch it from the end zone cam here. It's a great double team. 75 and 72 working up to the second level. This is that next play, and Rodriguez here is going to actually just beat Isaiah World to the spot, and that's kind of what forces Jordan Davison to go outside here, and it's just a great play by him to just beat him with his speed. I mean, just really all you have to do. And then obviously just a great tackle, way to rally and keep him out of the end zone, force a 4th and goal. So this is the 4th and goal rollout play. I really just don't like this play. I mean, we saw this in 2013 against Washington, at Washington. It's a very similar play design that Bo Nix ran in that game, and they ended up turning it over on downs right before the half. Similar deal. I mean, Texas Tech plays a lot of zone drop, like passing stuff off, kind of like protecting against rub routes in the red zone, especially close red zone, so I'm not super shocked at their call here. And there's really nowhere for Dante to go. And the thing I don't like about rollouts is that, like, you're basically putting a timer on how fast the play can be because you're running toward the sideline, and the offensive line's not like in a standard protection set, so usually this backside is going to be free or at least like barely touched, and that's kind of what happens. I mean, there's really nothing for him to do. Like, you're not going to turn the corner and try to run into this mess, and obviously these two guys are your only reads, and they're both getting clamped, so again, I'm not a huge fan. I mean, we can sit here and, hindsight's 20/20. If it would have worked, it would have worked, right? But I don't know. Me personally, even if it does work and they score here, like, let's say you hit this and you end up throwing there and that's a touchdown. I don't know. I just don't like it personally. That's just me. Quick hitches are exactly how you're going to take advantage of coverages where the corners are going to be backpedaling like that, and that's kind of just what they do to start this possession here in plus territory. So just a great first down call. Gonna get a duo call here. Tech just does a good job fitting. It's really nothing crazy. 6 does a great job keeping his outside arm free, forcing it back inside to his help, and that pretty much kills the play. Oregon ran hurry up, and they just get right up on the ball, and they try to run zone run. And the thing that I have against it really is it's the same front that we talked about in the preview, right? Like, yeah, they weren't set, but it's still a 7-man box, right? So you have six offensive linemen here, or 6 blockers, 5 offensive linemen and a tight end. Zone blocking against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys, and it's just like, yeah, you're not going to win that, unfortunately. Even if you catch them while they're not fully set, it's just like they have a +1. So it is what it is. So this is that 2-minute right before half drive, and beautiful execution all the way up until the very end of this drive. I'm just going to show you guys every play here. So we're going to start with the quick out against that soft cover 3 right here to the field. Malik Benson catches it, quick 8 yards. Now this is that fake screen that we were talking about, how they're going to hit DeCorian Moore on the sideline here. You almost wish that this could have gone for more, but it is what it is, man. Just like 10, 11 yards, however much you can get. Just keep the chains moving and clock stopped. Again, sequencing play calls, right? The first one just got you over here, so now you're on this hash, and now you have all this field to work with, right? So we're going to get basically a flood concept here, and they're playing that soft zone, and you're going to hit that corner route, and that is exactly what you need to do here to keep the chains moving and really put yourself in scoring position on plus side of the field. And this is what I'm saying, beautiful execution until the very end, right? This is the second to last play that ends up killing the drive here, and it's just a bad snap and cost you points, right? Like, could have been 6, could have been 3. I mean, it's really at least 3 points, because even if you ran the ball here, you could probably kick a field goal from this area of the field. Yeah, just snap the ball like way off to the left, unfortunately, and then that pretty much ends the half. So we're getting toward the end of what I'm going to show you guys. I got a handful of plays left in meaningful football time here. But I just thought this was an interesting play design. I don't know if I would have ran it against this front, but it's basically a wham block from the tight end here to try to get the ball up inside. Just really unfortunate. The front that they were in, you have basically three backers here. The wham's going to take care of 13, and that's great, but we're double teaming to get to either 10 or 5, and either way we're wrong, right? Because you have to keep one of them unblocked. So unfortunately, play was kind of dead to rights before it started. So, but I just thought it was interesting design. I think it's the only one that they ran this entire game that was like this. Just a really good play design here. Kind of a pseudo screen, but it's really just what I would like to call a pick and roll here. DeCorian Moore is going to set a screen here in the center of the field and just spring Noah Whittington for an 8 or 9 yard gain here. So this one puts you in, I believe it's 3rd and 2 right now, and they're going to run a slot fade, so just a hitch and then a fade to DeCorian. I mean, it's open. Just got to have a better ball here. That's it. Just got to be a little bit more accurate. We're a little high, and the reason that we're high is we're getting pressure, right? So I want you to just look at Dante. I mean, he's got to get this off at a weird angle almost, just because outside arm's free on David Bailey here. You got to throw this over his hand, and also it's just like you're about to take a lick anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I don't know. Doesn't really quite get the nose of the ball underneath and get his full follow through. Otherwise, I think that's on his numbers, and that's probably a 1st and goal. This is the 4th down where, unfortunately, we turned down a touchdown at quarterback. Sadiq's going to leak out just right down the seam and just wins a foot race, basically. But I want you guys to see Dante's eyes here. So he's watching. We've already clicked off of Sadiq, so at this point, we're looking at this, and it's like, even this is a win. I mean, the sticks are right here. If we put this ball right here, I think we can turn the corner. I mean, you're giving 9 an opportunity to stiff arm, but what's really frustrating is how fast we click off of Sadiq, right? Because we're watching Sadiq, and that, to me, this is a dub, dude. Like, they're hip to hip. Yeah, he's got inside help, but you can lead him outside. You can do whatever you want, and we're not really under pressure yet. I mean, we're going to be under pressure, and we're going to have to roll out, but I just want you guys to watch his eyes from end zone cam here. And it's just disappointing how fast we click off of that seam. Looking at it, clicked off. And we didn't really give it enough time to actually present itself. And I really don't even know why we didn't like it at first, to be honest. If you trust your freak of a tight end to win a foot race, even if you don't trust him to win a foot race, it's like it's 4th down. We got to throw the ball and we got to make a play. And I think this play right here is part of the reason that he threw that other interception, which I'll show you guys in a little bit here, because we hold on to the ball, and guarantee you we heard an earful on the sideline about how we can't hold on to the ball. We have to actually put it in play on 4th down. Defense is going to get you an opportunity here inside the goal line, and they're just going to run toss out of an unbalanced formation for a touchdown. This is literally almost identical to what the K-State team was running against Texas Tech's defense, like trying to get numbers, get it into the boundary here. It's not, I mean, the ball's damn near at center field, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, no, just a hell of a play. Unbalanced formation here. Got an extra tight end, an extra offensive lineman, and we're running 3 tight ends here. So yeah, just getting numbers out there, trying to get bodies on bodies and find a crease. So that's pretty much the end of meaningful play. Just because of the way the defense was going, you really feel like if you're Oregon at 13 points, this ball game was pretty much yours to lose at that point. So this is the last play we'll go over. So they kind of got a bunch going here. Gonna motion Sadiq out, and he's gonna run a speed out, and it's mesh rail. This is the interception play. So the back out of the backfield is gonna run that wheel route, out route, 2 crosses, and then someone's gonna sit right about where this ref is. And it's 4th down, so I really don't think this is Dante's fault. Um, we saw the last fourth down. I mean, he held onto the ball and tried to make a play, and obviously the way that the protection is holding up, there is no holding onto the ball here, but you have to put the ball in play because it's fourth down. It's a turnover regardless. And I'm going to show you guys his eyes very, very shortly here, but he's watching Sadiq. Sadiq's the first read, and really Sadiq's motion is going to confirm zone, right? So nobody travels. We know it's zone. So there's really, at that point, if you're going to run mesh, there's really three things that you're looking for. You're looking for the speed out. They made an adjustment defensively because you kept hitting them on these short outs with like back pedal coverage here. So he squats on that, and then he checks the wheel real quick. And we have to put the ball in play at that point. So we're going to throw it into the spot because the actual mesh receiver here that's going to sit, which would be this guy, he's not going to be ready for the football yet by the time we need to actually release it. And again, like I said, it's fourth down, so really don't blame Dante for throwing this pick here, but let's look at his eyes real quick just to show you guys what he's looking at here. So snap of the ball. So immediately checks that out, goes to the wheel, and then, yeah, we're out of time at that point. So we got to release. You have to put the ball in play. So unfortunately it was an interception, but it's probably looking like a turnover regardless, just the way that play developed. But no, I would say offensively, our OC's dialing up winners throughout this entire game. I feel like just from an execution standpoint, like it's got to be cleaner. If this team's going to beat Indiana, that's really it. I mean, just be clean and don't shoot yourself in the foot with like procedure penalties or just bad snaps or whatever, because you guys were moving down the field against really what I would consider to be an elite front seven.